we've just cleared the entrance gate and the metal detectors here at the State Fairgrounds. It is 9 o'clock on opening day. I'm just going to pan around behind me here. Already a very large crowd on hand here at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. We'll be taking a look at a few of the highlights here. I've got my family with me as we make this an annual tradition and try to anyway. And we'll be filling you in on other things going on here at the fairgrounds throughout the day. The first stop of the day is the food building, where you have dozens of choices of exotic state fair foods. Of course, we'll start with the breakfast this morning of cheese curds. And one of the many things we'll be sampling today here at the fairgrounds. Already a busy morning, folks coming out early for the first day of the state fair. Perhaps you've heard Gary Werdish talk about the Farmers Union booth, and here folks are lined up for some coffee, cold and hot coffee and sandwiches here, and a lot of people making an annual stop here when they come to the Minnesota State Fair. At the State Fair, donuts come in all sizes, from the mini to the really large. How are they?
Good.
Well, one thing you have when you come to the State Fair are throngs of people of all shapes, size, and color here. Most of us Minnesotans, most just trying to get along and enjoy a little entertainment here at the Great Minnesota Get Together. Wave. No. Well, State Fair has been a family tradition for many, many years, and when my dad passed away a few years ago, in memory, we got a bench for him, and it says Halton, and a little plaque says 5 generations of State Fair fun. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of these benches around here across the fairgrounds of people who love the State Fair and want to be a part of it here for at least the time being. So if you ever at the State Fairgrounds want to take a load off, look for the Halton Bench. A view of the Space Needle in the distance, but our next stop here is the historic 4-H building here at the fairgrounds. And I think I paid my first visit there in the mid-1970s as a 4-H'er. And decades before that, of course, many 4-H'ers have been in that building, putting in their time, bringing their exhibits down here to the State Fair. Always fun to see some local flavor. Earlier we saw the Ufta Taco stand, and we run across the Altos and Central Boiler displays here at the fairgrounds.
You too.
One of our favorite breaks to get out of the sun and take in some free entertainment is at the free Lining Lodge. And we happen to be listening to some bluegrass this afternoon.
My love has wealth and beauty while I last am poor.
Well, the Minnesota State Fair, of course, is known for a lot of things, but one of them is the food. An abundance of different choices, the calories, who can count them, but you gotta have the Pronto Pup. Mustard, of course, when you come to the State Fair. One of the iconic structures here at the fairgrounds, of course, is the State Fair Grandstand that will host grandstand shows each and every night of the fair. I had a chance back in the mid-1970s to usher the fair grandstand, so always holds a special place in my heart anyway to come back and revisit the grandstand. Another one of the iconic places here at the fairgrounds, of course, is the all-you-can-eat milk stand. And across the street, it's the Miracle of Birth Center. And next to that, one of the other iconic buildings, and that is the Warner Coliseum, where they hold all the horse and cattle shows throughout the run of the state fair.
Kinda like Bobtown.
Well, what would a fair be without a midway? They have two at the fairgrounds. They have the Little Kids Midway, and then they have the Mighty Midway for the older kids. I don't venture too far onto this part of the fairgrounds, but it's fun to watch. Well, here I go, about 12, 14 hours at the Minnesota State Fair. My legs feel it. I saw about 10% of what's here at the fairgrounds today. That is what the fair is all about. Huge crowd here today for the opening day of the fair and the Great Minnesota Get-Together, which continues until Labor Day. I hope you've enjoyed this little taste of what the State Fair is all about.